Hi, this is Dr. Erica Lewis recording a mini lecture for Module 1, Foundations of Nursing Informatics. This brief 5-minute lecture is not comprehensive. It's meant to highlight some of the things particular to nursing that you're seeing in the text. You'll also need to read the text and the other materials in order to know what you need for nursing informatics moving forward. First, I'd like to tell you about the DIKW pyramid. You can see that there are ascending levels of these ideas, beginning with data. Data are observations about the world. Thus, a datum is the lowest level of representation, such as a number in a database. There's no meaning associated with data. Information is data with meaning, and conclusions can be drawn by humans or by computers with information. Knowledge, on the other hand, is information that is justifiably considered to be true. It's more applied. For example, an elevated fasting blood sugar level might indicate an increased risk for diabetes. Wisdom is the critical use of knowledge to make intelligent decisions. So, for example, a rising blood sugar might indicate that, if consistent, that a person has diabetes. So it used to be that nurses could just have more information than the public. However, now that information is so readily available, as nurses, we really need to be well prepared to help people interpret that information at the level of knowledge and wisdom. The next concept I'd like you to focus on is interoperability. Interoperability is the ability of computer systems or software to exchange and make use of information. So that's relatively easy to understand, yet imagine the possibilities that could come if the devices we had today were more interoperable. So if a nurse could take a blood pressure and that would automatically enter into the medical record, and then perhaps that medical record interfaced with the patient's primary care physician's record, such that the blood pressure that the patient had taken in the hospital was all recorded there for the patient's primary care physician to follow up on. So interoperability is a major goal of EHRs and something that I hope that we'll be seeing major improvements in within your lifetime of practice. The text does a pretty good job, I feel, outlining these ideas of quality, safety, and value. And I'd like you to pause this video and read these definitions right now. I'm not going to read them to you. One thing I'd like to note for you is that safety is one aspect of quality. There are others, and you can see what the IOM considers to be others there. Also, there are different kind of ideas about quality from the patient's perspective and from the physician's perspective. The nurse's perspective isn't really given in the text. I'm curious what you think a nurse's perspective of quality might be. Lastly, I'd like us to focus on unsafe actions. Historically, safety has focused on events, such as near-miss events and adverse events, rather than on the unsafe actions that may have caused those events. Even though almost every near-miss event and adverse event ultimately were caused by some sort of unsafe action or system that facilitated an unsafe action. An unsafe action is any action or inaction that has the potential to cause an adverse event. Once an unsafe action occurs, steps must be taken to eliminate its reoccurrence. This is a new focus in quality and safety, and it may not have been followed up on in some of the other texts that you encounter in this class, so I wanted to point it out. All right, thank you so much for listening, and please enjoy the rest of the content of the module.